Hey terrainiacs, Mel the Terrain Tutor back in the studio and back with another tutorial for you. Now in this tutorial, it's another technical terrain tutorial and we're looking at rock faces and easy ways of casting rock faces. Now, you have seen me use Woodland Scenics rock molds to make the rock faces for the D-Day board. Yeah, and now they're not the only rock molds about. There's also things like the Bragdon rock molds. Yeah, and these are for making large sheets that you can crack up and make awesome rock surfaces. But if you want to give it a go and add cast rock faces to your terrain, but you don't want to go into the expense of that, there's an old school technique using simple tin foil. So let's head over to the bench and I'll show you how to make some cheap and easy rock faces using tin foil. Come on. Now creating rock molds from tin foil is nothing new. Okay, it's been around for donkey's ages, but it's one of those techniques that sort of slipped away into the passages of time, so I thought I'd better sort of bring it back. Now, when we're making our rock molds, tin foil is really, really thin, and as such, it can't, hold that detail against the weight of the plaster. So what we need to do is to thicken it up, and we do this by basically creating lots and lots of different layers, and brushing PVA in between the layers, then flattening them all down, pressing them and letting it dry. This creates like a really thick sheet of tin foil. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now the amount of layers you need depends on basically how big your mold is, how deep you're going to fill it. If you're only doing little molds with say, details that are only about that deep, you only need probably about 3 or 4 sheets. If you're doing bigger ones, then you want to be looking at 5, 6, 7 sheets, okay? But it's just a simple matter of rolling them out, brushing some PVA on, putting another sheet down, PVA, and then press. So let's crack on with that now. So this is all dry now, and what we're left with is essentially a tough bit of foil. Our job now is to turn this into a mould. Now when you look at moulds, there's lots of tiny little crackling details on rock, and then there's big faults. Okay, so what I'm going to do is quickly take you through how to do each of those details. Now when it comes to the actual faults, what we're going to do is we're going to fold our sheet roughly, like that, and we're not going to do it in any particular straight line. You don't want it straight down the middle. Remember, rocks are sort of organic. Put another one there. Alright, and we're just basically getting the major crease lines in. Okay. Next job is the crinkly rocks. The crinkly rocks. Well, we're going to crinkle this, but the actual sort of all the little facets. And to do that, all we're going to do is scrumple that up. Now, I'm not scrumping up the edges. Just the middle. If I scrumple it all up in the edges, it's going to be a nightmare to sort of separate. So if you see, like that. And then if we open it up again, oh, look at all those lovely rocks. Now remember, this is a negative pattern. Okay, so where these peaks are bumping up, when we do our cast face, they'll be inserts into recesses, if you know what I mean. So there's our rock face. Next thing we need to do, if I bring that up, see where we're going with this? That's a bit harsh there. Next job I've got to do is dead simple. I've got to basically fold up the sides and make this a single rock piece. And to do that, all I'm going to do is straighten that out a bit, and fold it over, and do that. Basically I just need a rim around it to catch the casting powder. Struggling with words today. Right, I'm going to work round and I'm going to put that rim all the way around it. And then once that's done, we'll come back, Right guys, there's our mould, and as you can see, yeah, I've kept all these creases and indents, yeah, really shallow. That's because when we pour our casting solution in, yeah, our Cristacal, if they're too big, we'll need too much to fill it. If we put too much in, the weight, yeah, will actually push down and it will flatten out all of these bumps, okay, and so we defeat the purpose. So when you're doing these sort of moulds, unless you're going to support them underneath with some wet tissue or something like that, or sand, yeah, you need to keep them shallow. Otherwise, the weight of the plaster is just going to flatten it all out. Now, the next thing we need to do is dead simple. We've got to mix up some Cristacal. So I'm going to mix up some Cristacal, and we'll come back when that's done. Right, I've got my Cristacal mixed up. In there, I've put in some water and a little bit of a dish detergent washing up liquid. That's going to help this flow into all those little points and hopefully get rid of all the air bubbles. And I'm going to start pouring. Yeah, now as I pour, yeah, I don't want to come down too heavy on any particular area. Yeah, specifically the ridges. I want to keep those ridges and pour sort of where it's flat, so that the weight of it pouring out doesn't sort of force it, if you know what I mean. Oh, I'm not sure if I've got enough here. Right, scrape that in. Oh, I may not have made enough. We'll see. Alright, but what I can do is if I push that down just a little, there you go. We'll see how that turns out, eh? You never know with these. Right. There you are. Now what we've got to do is leave that to set. So we'll leave that to set and we'll come back for a demoulding once it's dry. Right, it's cured now, it's time to demould. Now, what do you call it? The Plasticast doesn't stick to the tin foil, so you can just peel these back. Here we go. And over it. Same over it. Oh, is that caught in? Maybe a little. And then time to lift it up and start peeling it off. Oh, moment of truth. Here you go. Do it like this. Yeah, you ready? There we go. And there you have it. Yeah. Nice and thin, so easily crackable, shapeable. Yeah. Dead simple. If I bring it up for you, there's a shadow there, isn't there? Okay, you can see all the ridges. You can see how we put that together. Yeah. Easy peasy. Now all I'm going to do is we'll leave this to dry and then tell you what, guys. Should we paint it up? Yeah, a little bit thin there, just to be honest. Yeah, there wasn't enough. Oh, sorry, guys. That's me not looking. I haven't got a monitor at home. That's in the studio. Yeah, but here we go. There you go. Beautiful. Right. I'll get this painted up, guys. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, quick and dirty rock faces. Yeah, I could have done a little bit better there, couldn't I? But as you can see, Yeah, you can see the detail from the tin foil, you can see the creases that we put in and how well they take shading. Obviously this is a large expansive piece, you'd be breaking this down, you know what I mean, and shaping them in different ways and that sort of stuff, but that looks rather spanking. And then on top of that, because I wanted to show you, you know, the sort of how sort of really craggy you can get with this, yeah, I did this one. Now once again, really quick and easy, dirty sort of, you know, technique, but you can see all the deep crevices. Now these were done by simply turning the mould upside down and pinching the underneath of it, yeah, which created these recesses, really nice and sharp. Once again, yeah, you can see how we've got our long runs and our facets, yeah, so it comes together really well. Right, let's get set up for the long shot, eh? So there you have it, guys. Really easy, really simple, reusable. Yeah, just remember, you've just got to get those edges right. Yeah, get them nice and tight, make sure they're watertight. Make sure you go underneath and pinch where you want deep creases. And remember that the deeper your creases and the higher your piece, the more volume you're going to be putting in. So the thicker of what you call it, of tinfoil sheet you need to create when you're layering it with PVA. Now, as always, if you've liked the video, then hit like. If you've got any questions, in the comments. If you've got anything to add to this, throw them in the comments. And as always, guys, if these videos are helping your hobby and you would like to see more of these videos, we're currently fundraising and trying to get more time in the studio so I can make more of these tutorials for you. But I can't do that without you guys either jumping on Patreon and taking that $1 pledge. Remember, it's only $1, it's next to nothing, but all of you guys clubbing together really do give me time in the studio and time to edit up these videos and to make them for you, you know what I mean? And if you're not into the Patreon regular thing, remember guys, down below is the link to Patreon. You can send a couple of quid by Patreon as a one-off way of saying thank you for the tutorials, yeah? It all helps, it all gets me in the studio and it all gets me making tutorials for you. So that wraps it up for this one, guys, yeah? I hope you've liked it, and as always, yeah, stay tuned because we've got plenty more to come, you know what I mean? And in the meantime, crack on, terrainiacs. Ta-da!